Everybody's freaking out today over these new woke Army recruitment ads. Are they good? Are they bad? Are they terrible for the military? I want to show you one of these in just a second. But first, remember growing up watching recruitment ads? Did they ever look like this? Love each other, respect everyone. This in particular was about a member of the armed forces, a member of the Army named Emma. And as part of this campaign called The Calling, she tells her story of growing up with two moms. And that's where they think that the woke elements are being leaked in. Then people reacted negatively to this, as they did to the CIA woke recruitment ads. And immediately, the Army shut down the YouTube comment section. And Ted Cruz jumped in as well. The U.S. Army shut down the comment section of a recruiting video that featured a soldier with two moms, the same video that Ted Cruz mocked as emasculated. The recruitment video featured Corporal Emma Malonelord, tells the story of how she came to join the Army after being raised in California by two moms. And here's Ted Cruz before we watch the ad. Holy crap, perhaps a woke emasculated military is not the best idea. He links to this video comparing the German Army recruitment videos like this. Very intense.
Что ты знаешь о себе? На что ты способен? Вопросы могут остаться без ответов, но разве ты сможешь знать себя, познать границы своих возможностей? К черту границы. А без боя не...
Comparing those Russian videos to this new campaign, The Calling, and you have sort of a Mount Rushmore of people from all different backgrounds here that they're representing. Each of these five has a video. We're going to watch the Emma one in just a second. She's off to your far right. And obviously, you can see the racial demographics and the fact that they have three women out of five people total. This is all done very purposely. Not a single white man among them. They did all this on purpose. But here's Emma's story. We'll watch this to see if it really is as bad as everybody's saying, and then I'll tell you why I think they got this all wrong.
This is the story of a soldier who operates your nation's Patriot missile defense systems. It begins in California, with a little girl raised by two moms.
Emma is her name, obviously.
Although I had a fairly typical childhood, took ballet, played violin, I also marched for equality. I like to think I've been defending freedom from an early age.
When I was 6 years old, one of my moms had an accident that left her paralyzed. Doctors said she might never walk again. But she tapped into my family's pride to get back on her feet, eventually standing at the altar to marry my other mom. With such powerful role models, I finished high school at the top of my class, and then attended UC Davis, where I joined a sorority full of other strong women.
But what now?
But as graduation approached, I began feeling like I'd been handed so much in life, a sorority girl stereotype. Sure, I'd spent my life around inspiring women, but what had I really achieved on my own?
All that privilege.
One of my sorority sisters was studying abroad in Italy. Another was climbing Mount Everest. I needed my own adventures, my own challenge. And after meeting with an Army recruiter, I found it. A way to prove my inner strength and maybe shatter some stereotypes along the way. I'm U.S. Army Corporal Emma Malonelord, and I answered my calling.
There you go. That's the Emma version of it. There's some other ones out there, too. There's one for David. You'll find other ones on the Army's page. They've been out for about a week now, but it's really just starting to catch on now. And nothing against Emma. I mean, she's probably a great soldier. Her story is fantastic. I just don't know who this is targeting. The problem with the U.S. Army is recruitment numbers suck. And the problem with recruitment numbers isn't that they can't get enough Gen Z kids in, or they can't get enough people who are interested in woke things to join the armed forces. That's not their target audience. In fact, if you did a poll of all the actual people who are in the military now, I think you'd find that's a very small percentage and not likely to get much larger. The reason why the military is struggling with recruitment numbers the problem is not solved by this campaign. Let's look at this here. The Pentagon already had plans to shrink the Army to pre-World War II levels as long ago as 2014. And they've maintained that number somewhere in the 400,000s. So they may be more comfortable even bringing the Army numbers further down as we sort of update and change the way the Army works. But our recruitment numbers suck. We're barely beating goals that are soft goals to begin with. And the Army didn't even establish a recruiting goal for 2020. It said, we're not even going to try. We're not even going to have a recruiting goal because of the pandemic and all kinds of stuff. They said maybe we'll try to get 69,000 new soldiers, and they ended up with 62. So here's the real problem. It's not that they can't get these young folks. In fact, here's a survey that says 75% of Americans consider military service to be a good career choice. And the Americans who they polled were 39% more likely to consider a career in the military because of the pandemic. You could pay them a bit more, sure. But the problem is America is fat. That's the problem. And that's not something that this ad campaign targets in any way. We know that one of the biggest barriers to enlistment is obesity. Currently, obesity disqualifies 31% of young Americans between the ages of 17 and 24. That's the bracket they're going for from service. We also know the situation is getting worse. The CDC recently released data showing the prevalence of childhood obesity nationwide is 18.5%, and it affects 13.7 million children and teens. And here's the facts, folks. This is 2018 and 2019. The Army, their recruitment goals go down further. In 2018, it was 69,000, almost 70,000. In 2019, it was 68,100 so that they could hit that goal at 100%. And the Army Reserve falls into the same category. The actual demographics of the Army are 82% male, 55% Caucasian, 20% African American. So actually more than the representation of African Americans in the United States of America, which is impressive. 18% Hispanic, which has been growing. 5% Asian and 0.8% Native American. We need to help these people out with the best programs possible, but we need to make sure we're drawing attention to the problem of obesity in the United States of America, because that is what is making it so we aren't having such a strong recruitment drive. This doesn't tackle that. Going after woke things doesn't tackle that. The people who are on the woke side of any debate are also people who don't believe that we have an obesity problem, that say that body shaming is a major problem instead of that say there is no real diet norms or average body weights that we should focus on, and that all of this is terrible for people. But what does it do? It makes our country weaker, because so many people who would love to serve in the military are just too fat to do so. And you got to wonder, do we lower those standards down? Do we go after whoever this is targeting? What do you think about all this? What do you think about the calling ad campaign that we just watched? And what do you think about the military's recruitment issues altogether? Is Ted Cruz right? Was the Army right to censor the comments on YouTube just because people didn't like their campaign? Give me your thoughts on all of this. And if you like this video, please hit the share button to spread the word to your friends. If you're new around here, click follow over at facebook.com/thenewsjunkie or subscribe at youtube.com/thenewsjunkie. And we'll talk to you again real soon.